presented by Progressive Insurance. Along Chris Canty, Kimberly A. Martin in for Smalls. Today, Evan Cohen with you. Vegas East is having a big laugh around Upon Further Review because I went on a whole rant.
Yeah, you did. Screaming.
About winning.
Shrieking.
And then really was intrigued by Cece's idea of losing.
I love that.
Literally back-to-back takes by you.
Is tanking to the top winning, though?
No.
Well, but like the Dolphins tried to suck for luck and didn't get Andrew Luck.
Losing is losing.
Right, but you want organizational winning to get a pick that would bring you a quarterback?
Is that how you feel about the Sixers?
Lose with a purpose. Is that what you're saying?
I don't feel that way about the Sixers.
If you're going to lose with a purpose?
Yeah.
Instead of being aimless?
Yeah.
I can buy into that a little bit.
So let's
go back. You hate aimless losing, but if it's really targeted and a
well, yeah, if you're losing while your young quarterback is getting on the job training, then that makes sense. Mm-hmm. If you're losing because you're in the wilderness when it comes to finding a franchise quarterback and you're trying to get a top pick, that actually makes some sense. But if you're losing for the sake of, if you're doing what we anticipate the Pittsburgh Steelers are doing, which is starting a 42-year-old quarterback without having a chance in hell at being able to win a title, then to me that doesn't make sense.
Are you saying the Steelers are not good this year? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
They're not going to be good?
Yeah, I don't think I'm breaking news. I've been on that train.
So let's go back to your number one in Upon Further Review. So the thought was, is Atlanta a sneaky tank team? Now,
yes.
Let's go back to why. So this weekend, obviously we're watching all the preseason games. Penix banged up. Tua banged up / not good. They're 2 draft picks from last year in terms of their edge rushers. Pierce for suspension off the field and Walker for health, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. Both either Walker out for the season, Pierce out for at least half the season at this point. Who knows what happens in between now and then, whatever. We don't know, and I'll leave that to the side. They're not at full strength. Is there a market inefficiency this year for tanking? Who do we think is trying to worry about their next quarterback and their next team versus this team? Miami, I would say, is on that list.
Miami's on that list.
I don't think the Jets are because I think Aaron Glenn...
They got to win games.
Yeah.
Or their head coach is going to get fired.
And they have 3 first-rounders. So they
don't need to lose. They can always move up if they need to.
And then other bad teams, Arizona.
Cardinals for sure.
Now, again, like the Browns.
I was going to say, wouldn't you throw Cleveland in there, clearly?
Yeah, but those 2 franchises specifically may think, holy crap, did we find our franchise quarterback at a cheap price? Carson Beck and Shedeur Sanders.
Correct.
That's on the table. Atlanta does not have that because if they are down on Penix or Penix is not healthy, they don't have that at this point, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. I mean, other bad teams. Tennessee has their guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Vegas has their guy.
Well, even though Vegas has their guy, they still should lose because you do want to have a high pick in a quarterback-rich draft. You want somebody to pay you off in order to move up.
And there is job security, I would think, for the 3 people now involved in Atlanta, right? Because you're thinking about Stefanski first year, Ian Cunningham, general manager first year, Matt Ryan first year.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you don't want to tank 2 or 3 years in if you haven't been that good. If that crew was saying, listen, we re-signed a lot of the guys that are obvious to re-sign, but around the parts that are not obvious, we're going to try to move up in the draft, and we're going to try to do so by finding that market inefficiency. Kmart, you're giving me a dirty look. I'm used to that from that chair normally.
True. Yeah, I'm just fascinated by the Falcons. Because they have a first-year head coach in Atlanta who has no ties, in Kevin Stefanski, who has no ties to Penix. He was not there. And also Matt Ryan being in the building now, I just feel like there's less patience in Atlanta than a lot of other places. I think that's why I'm fascinated by them, because Tua is only there for a year. And if they don't believe in Penix going forward, there's going to be a lot of changes.
So,
do you think it's on the board? I mean, you've talked about it.
I think they're just going to be bad.
Yeah, but
so they might not be trying to tank, but it's going to amount to that. I think the Falcons, you could have it on the board that they're a last place team in the softest division in football. Mm-hmm. And if that's your reality, and you still have the big question mark around who's going to play quarterback in 2027, why wouldn't you want as high a draft pick as possible next year?
just a quick exercise there. How many teams in the NFL would we say, based on this, you have me thinking?
How many teams do I think should tank next year?
No, I'm going to go a different way.
I'm about to say,
You were
because
ready to
I
jump
got
on
a
that
half dozen teams right here off the gates.
Oh, then go.
I mean,
go that
listen,
way
I got the Atlanta Falcons, I got the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Arizona Cardinals, Las Vegas Raiders, Miami Dolphins, and the Indianapolis Colts. Now, Indy is tricky because everybody's on the hot seat, but I think based on what they have, it's completely on the board that they could be a team that falls out of it before we even get to the trade deadline. I think it's entirely possible given the landscape of that division.
For Indy. And let's be fair. They are the one team that you out there don't think can win the Super Bowl that is all in. Because they gave up 2 first-rounders for Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
They extended Daniel Jones. They extended Jonathan Taylor.
Right.
They extended Alec Pierce. They let go of Michael Pittman because of that. So they are an all-in team that no one thinks can win the Super Bowl.
Do you think they can win the Super Bowl? Why
No.
not? I'm just curious.
No.
I'm just curious because before
Not even
Daniel
close.
Jones got hurt, they were rolling. So why are you down on them this year?
Right, because I think having like the surprise element of wait, that offense is really good would have been really interesting if it continued last year.
Yeah.
But now all the games on tape from last year, an off season to prepare for them. I think Houston's going to be better because I think CJ Stroud is going to be at least good. I think Jacksonville is obviously good, and I think Tennessee is going to be better because I think that the coaching staff coming in there will kind of breathe some life into them. So I think if Indy was a surprise team all year last year, maybe they make that run. They're not going to be a surprise team this year. Everyone's going to watch those first 8 games and say, what did they do? CC brought up the stats last year during the season. It's like, wait, the numbers that they were putting up resemble only that of the greatest show on turf. You don't think other coaches are going to look at them and say, what exactly did they do? Because we can't allow that to happen to us. There's no surprise element of like, wait, Daniel Jones is good. Everyone's going to go into every game with Indy thinking Daniel Jones is really good. He feels like an every other year quarterback to me. Like, meaning every other year he's good.
Yeah, and then every other year he's hurt.
Yeah, or hurt.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, right, Daniel Jones' breakout seasons are usually followed by a breakdown, right? He won a playoff game in 2022 on the road in Minnesota, and then the wheels came off the wagon. He ends up getting a contract extension prior to, and the New York Giants dumped him. Finds his way to Indianapolis, has a great start to last year, and then injuries derailed his season. This team is pot committed to this core of players, and it happened right after they made the deal for Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
When they traded 2 first-round draft picks for Sauce, that means they had burned the boats, they had mortgaged their future for the here and now. And every decision from that point was to support what they did in terms of the investment in the team last year. Doesn't necessarily mean that those were the right decisions, but Indy made them anyway, because they were in the best interest of job preservation for the head coach and the general manager. When you make decisions like that, for those motivations in the National Football League, it usually doesn't result in good things. And that's why I'm shorting the Indianapolis Colts and Daniel Jones this upcoming season.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think it's all well said, and also I don't know that you can find another team that you would say have made all-in moves that have no shot at the Super Bowl. I guess maybe Pittsburgh, you would say. Right, Pittsburgh went out there and kept Aaron Rodgers.
For Michael Pittman Jr.
Yeah, I mean DK, Keanu Benton, obviously a great extension on Wisconsin.